Good, happy Tuesday evening. I'm Riley King, and welcome to the Riley King Newscast. Let's get started. Sanders endorses Clinton at Recos rally in Portsmouth. With Hillary Clinton at his side, Bernie Sanders Tuesday called for his millions of supporters across the U.S. to back the presumptive Democratic presidential nominee while still keeping alive what he declared is the revolution that marked his campaign. Fire Marshal condemns negligent homicide charges in tent collapse. The state fire marshal has recommended that negligent homicide charges be brought against the operator of a circus tent that collapsed last year in Lancaster, New Hampshire, killing 2 people. Man accused of pointing gun at driver during road rage incident. A Manchester man was arrested Monday night after he allegedly hustled a Candia couple before pulling out a gun during a road rage incident. A 310 dog seized from alleged puppy mill. Authorities in Maryland say they've arrested the owners of 310 dogs in an alleged puppy mill, many of the animals with matted fur and covered with fleas. Overturned tractor trailer spills lumber fuel on I-89. A section of I-89 in Hopkinton is closed after a tractor trailer rolled over on Tuesday, spilling lumber and fuel on the southbound side of the highway. Under plea deal, man charged in Cameron death to get 20-year sentence. Under a plea agreement, a man charged in the overdose death of a teenager girl in Rochester Motel will be sentenced to 20 years in prison. Waterfowl hunting season date set. New Hampshire's fall waterfowl season will be similar to last year's for regular ducks and Canadian geese, but a lot shorter for season duck hunting. Manchester man charged in connection with a pair of armed robberies. Police in Manchester arrested a man Monday in connection with a pair of armed robberies in the city. Toxic allergen may be causing decline in New Hampshire loon population, researchers say. Toxin found a blue-green allergen blooms has been linked to Lou Gehrig's disease. New hope for New Hampshire Recovery Center to open in Derry, Claremont, and Berlin. An organization that runs recovery centers for people dealing with substance abuse is expanding its service across New Hampshire. Londonderry man to be sentenced Tuesday for double shooting. Prosecutors plan to ask for life in prison Tuesday when a Londonderry man is sentenced in connection with a 2014 double shooting. Man nearly 4 times legal limit slams into tree, police say. A Belmont man faces aggravated DWI charge after allegedly crashing his truck into a tree while drunk. Firefighters battle 2-alarm blaze in Ware. An adult, 2 children, and several pets were displaced Monday night after a 2-alarm fire ripped through an apartment building in where? Dallas Police Memorial. Obama rightness anger can be transformed. Let's take a listen to this video from CNN.
If we're to sustain the unity we need to get through these difficult times.
President Obama in Dallas today, sending a powerful, personal message.
I'm here to insist that we are not as divided as we seem. And I know that because I know America. I know how far we've come against impossible odds.
Carefully writing his own words of support and solidarity for a nation in mourning.
When all this takes place, more than 50 years after the passage of the Civil Rights Act, we cannot simply turn away and dismiss those in peaceful protest as troublemakers.
The stage was set by deadly shootings that have claimed lives both black and blue.
We ask the police to do too much, and we ask too little of ourselves.
Perhaps more enduring than the words are the images. A lasting tribute for the 5 police officers killed in Thursday's sniper attack.
An act not just of demented violence, but of racial hatred. All of it's left us wounded and angry and hurt.
Former Republican President George W. Bush joining his successor in a rare show of unity.
Those of us who love Dallas and call it home have had 5 deaths in the family.
Each expressing their condolences.
Your loss is unfair. We cannot explain it. We can stand beside you and share your grief.
En route to Texas, the president also called the families of Philando Castile and Alton Sterling, the 2 African-American men killed by police last week in Missouri and Louisiana.
He was very pleasant, and he spoke of his concerns and sent his condolences, as well as Michelle.
The trip to Dallas marks a return for President Obama to yet another city heartbroken. His 11th visit to grieve an American mass shooting since taking office.
I've seen too many families go through this. But then I am reminded of what the Lord tells Ezekiel. I will give you a new heart, the Lord says, and put a new spirit in you.
Well, sorry about that. And there you go on that report. Capitol Complex lockdown is lifted, police say. The Capitol Complex was briefly placed on lockdown this afternoon, Capitol Police said. Police were investigating a report of a man with a gun and had a vehicle stopped at 1st and D Streets, NW, which is about 2 blocks north of the Capitol building. 2 people were taken into custody. An email to Capitol staff said police activity was reported on Capitol Hill. The email urged staff to lock and stay away from windows and external doors and take shelter. While police were restricting movement in and out of the complex, the brief lockdown did not restrict movement inside the Capitol. And that does it for the Riley King Newscast right here on the Riley King Network. I hope you all have a great rest of your Tuesday evening. Good night, everyone. Bye.